and you should see something on your side, just to a privacy policy advising you that it's being recorded. Right, I'm going to switch my video off just for to reduce any bandwidth implications that there might be. And I'm going to switch on to a little PowerPoint presentation. If there are any issues at any time and you can't see anything, or I'm breaking up, please just go back onto mic and let me know. Thanks. Okay, so firstly, thank you for joining me. Microsoft Teams is the Microsoft version of Zoom, of WhatsApp, of a general online collaboration tool. It comes with Microsoft Office by default, the Microsoft Office 365 suite. Last week, they announced that they were basically giving it away for free to any email address. It didn't matter whether you're using Office 365 or not. In light of the COVID epidemic, pandemic, they've offered it for free. So what is Microsoft Teams? It's a communications and collaboration platform using SharePoint in the back end, OneDrive, which is similar to Dropbox, and it can be run on Windows, Linux, Mac, through your web browser, on an Android phone, on an iPhone. It consists of a chat feature, so you can start eliminating emails, SMSs. The chats are persistent and private, so that means you don't lose it. You can't, if it doesn't disappear after a while. And you can set them up in similar to a WhatsApp group. You can create a private group, or you can create public ones and allow all your team members to join. It does have it does normal video calling like we're currently doing now. But it also does integrate into a phone system, so you could use your phones, your actual VoIP phones, to make calls. It isn't a feature available yet in South Africa, but it will be in the next few months. As you can see, we can also do meetings. So here we're in a meeting, and we can do shared presentations, recordings, and there's a virtual whiteboard. And the best part about this, for me anyway, in my business, is that it's integrated into Office 365, and we do most of our file sharing and collaboration through Teams now. Sorry, the question everybody asks is, what's the difference between Teams and Zoom? So every platform has their place based on the requirements, and there's no one perfect platform or solution for all. Zoom is mainly a high performance video and audio conferencing tool. And there's a free version and a paid version, and they offer various functionality. Microsoft Teams is a collaboration tool designed to improve internal and business-to-business communication. It's got a chat service and video conferencing. It's got file sharing and calendar support. It's integrated into Office 365. And most importantly, for businesses who conform to GDPR or POPI or HIPAA or any other compliance, you can configure the compliance on the administrative back end, and those rules will be applied in how you use Teams. And then there's a free version and paid for version as well. All right, so I mentioned earlier that in light of the COVID-19, they've had a 500% increase in Teams just in the first week of America doing their social distancing. And they had to bring on a lot more servers and resources in order to accommodate this. The first few days was quite slow. So there was a lot of teething and bandwidth constraints, but within 3-4 days, Microsoft had got it all sorted out. And they've also allowed the Teams to be used from any mail account going forward with their free version. A couple of tips and guidelines on just working remotely. Firstly, most importantly, get dressed. If you're doing video chats, you want everybody to see that you're dressed and happy and smiley. If you're working from home and you've got a lot of background noise, dogs, kids, noisy neighbors, whatever the case is, just get a decent mic and noise cancelling speakers and make sure you use them. Our rules for our organization is we promote video usage wherever possible. The idea is that you don't want other people to feel isolated. In addition, we do regular meetings. Each team of ours, we've broken up into about 3 teams, and each of those teams do a daily meeting, just so that, you know, there's that communication, saying hello, checking the other people are doing okay, etc. And because we are working remotely, it's not so easy to just say, hey, Lisa, how are you doing over there? Is that document ready yet? So use the chat regularly and also use it to keep others in the loop. Another thing that's important when working remotely is just to manage expectations of response times. So when you're working in an office environment, it's quick and easy just to walk across to somebody, ask them a question, get a response. When you're working remotely, it's important to know what the expectations are in terms of getting a response from somebody else. And with that is to clearly define the working hours and the availability. So in our environment, we've said everybody that we're following our standard working hours from 8 to 5. And therefore, because of that, we're expecting people are available during that time. And then just another trick of remote working is just mute yourself when you're not speaking. Additionally, if you've got bandwidth constraints, then turn your video off as well. Okay, so that's the theory of everything. Are there any questions or comments or anything at this point in time? And if not, then I'll get started with the practical. Go for it, Selwyn.
Can you send us a copy of the spreadsheets that you just presented?
With pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to get down to the practical. I prefer to do the practical than the theory. So the first thing that I showed you is how I'm not sure if I showed you how to do the recording. So I just want to show you how to do the screen sharing, which is this button over here, which is going to stop my sharing. But if I had to click on that, and you'll find it on your side, there's a button there that says start sharing. Okay, we've covered the video, we've covered the mic. On the right-hand side over here, there's something here that says show conversation. Go for it, Selwyn.
I can't see what you're doing.
Is everybody else able to see? Okay. What are you seeing on your side, Selwyn? I think you're on mute.
I'm seeing a line with a red dot with the time, 15:45, and the whole bar right across, and request control. And then there's a line above it.
Okay, you've got me here. So you're not seeing the picture of my screen, which has got David on the top, Lisa on the right.
I'm going to photograph it. You can, and I'll show it to you if I can.
Sure.
No, it doesn't. Sorry, it's not working.
If you hover your mouse over the screen, does a little icon come? Does a little bar come up with the recording time, the turn off camera, the mic? So just move your mouse over the screen.
Nothing's happening.
Okay,
So
I'm going to stop my sharing, just start it again quickly. What are you seeing now? Sorry, you're on mute.
identical screen that I had before. There's things down the side, icons down the side with a bell, but grayed out. And on the top it says Techron Computer CC. And on the bottom it says type in search, and it's got like the fire and E and the.
Okay, and if
Yeah.
you hover at the bottom, if you hover over the Teams icon like David showed you earlier, can you then find it?
No, it comes back to the meeting again.
Okay. So I'm not really sure, and I'm
Okay, well, don't let me stop you, please.
Thanks. I'm happy to do a personal session with you afterwards, no problem.
Okay.
All right. So on the right, to the right-hand side of the more actions here, we've got something called show conversation, and this is where a little chat window comes up. So if you all click that on your side, you'll see the chat window come up, and we say hello to everybody. Okay, so you can all see that, barring Selwyn, I'm guessing. Okay, thank you, Di, Nadia, David, Beth, thank you. What you can also do is, Selwyn's good, great. What we can also do is, I hope this works, I've got Lisa in here, so I can say at, and I can type Lisa, and this is directed at her. Thanks for setting. Okay, so that's very useful when you're in a group chat, but you want everybody to be aware, but you've got a specific question, but you want to target it at somebody. Often if you're in a group chat, nobody takes ownership, or so to speak. So it's quite good to target somebody specifically if you know they might have the answer or you want something specific out of them. Okay, Lisa can then, if she hovers over that comment over there, she can then choose the emojis and send me a like or something like that. So in the chat, you've got, can you see that, Lisa? All right, so I love that response over there. So there's also a good way of acknowledging things. If somebody says something and you don't want to reply, yes, I got it, you can just give a thumbs up or something like that. All right. Another nice little trick is, turn my camera back on, is you'll see I've got a background at the moment with my wall. You might see a painting or something like that. What's also quite a useful thing to do is in more actions, there's something here called blur my background. So if you're sitting in a messy area, or like I say, their dogs, kids, whatever the case is, coming in and out, it's pretty useful to have a blurred background. So the focus is centered on you and not what's going on behind you. All right. There's also, there's also something called live captions. This is great for the hearing impaired. So you'll see now at the bottom of my screen, everything that I say is now being displayed. It doesn't always get it right. But that's very useful for giving presentations where there might be some hearing constraints or just bad audio. And to do that, you can just turn off the live captions. All right. So the next thing I want to show everybody is just a little bit about Teams and the layout. They are working on it and improving it all the time. I find it a little bit cluttered at times, but I'm just going to switch to my view of my Teams. So activity over here just gives me the latest update from somebody. All right. Chats over here, these are my one-to-one conversations. Okay. My Teams over here, this is where I've actually set up groups of people who interact with each other based on, in our case, it's the team that they actually work in. So we've got a projects team, the management team, a support team. I have set up another team over here, which is just a test team, and I've suckered one or two of my colleagues to help me with this exercise, just to give a demonstration. So by default, when you set up a team, it creates what's called the channel inside it. And the default channel is always general. And then within there, you can create as many other sub-channels as you want. So for example, I've got our support team. In here, there's the general, which is the default. Then we've created one where critical faults go. We've created for the help desk. We've created for HR, leave, sick, standby. We've created a server team. So while everybody who's belonging to the support team can see all of this, these channels are targeted at the people who it's more relevant to. All right, so I've set up a test team over here, which is called JK Test Team. To do that, I clicked on the button over here, which says join or create a team. And I created a team, and I built a team from scratch. You can make a team private, where you invite people to join, or you can make it public. So public would be everybody in your organization can join the team. I've already done it, so but it's literally just pressing the buttons, giving it a name, and adding the members. All right, so I've created one called JK Test Team, and now I'm going to manage this team. So I click on the three dots over here. I manage this team. I'm the owner of it, so I can add members. And at the moment, I've got one other member in here, and I'm going to invite another member. I'm going to invite Mark to join this team. And close that. All right, and now I'm going to click into the channel within this team, and I'm going to start a discussion. And every time you set one up, it'll give you some options: add more people, create more channels, open the FAQ. So let me start saying hi, and I'm going to target, oops, if I spell correctly. There, Mark's already, he's on the ball. He's already said hi, Jackie. So I'm going to say hi, Mark. Sorry, I didn't do that properly. Hi, Mark. I'm going to say hi, Casper. Thanks for offering to help with demo. And they're pretty interactive, so one of them should respond in the next moment or two. What I want to just show you is, as you can see, if you look at my chats and my conversations, they go back years, months, days. They're absolutely endless. I can just scroll and scroll and scroll. You'll see as soon as this loads, sorry. I scrolled a little bit too fast. But when I mentioned it was persistent chat, so it saves everything. What you can do, and sorry, I found it a little bit too fast here. So what you can do is you can flag something if it's important to you. So to do that, you click on the 3 dots over there and you say save this message. That allows you to go back to it later on. Often you'll get lots and lots of messages during the day, and you might not have a chance to look at something at that point in time, but you know you need to address it later. So you can save the message. If I then go, sorry, I think it's, let me go over here. If I go to saved over here, here's the list of my saved messages. So I can then go back to this later and follow up with it. Once I've done what I needed to do, I can unsave it, and it goes away from us. It will go away from our saved list. And that's quite useful to remember to, if you've got to do something later on and you don't have a chance there and then, it's useful to go back to it over there. All right. The next thing that I want to show everybody is files. So how many times have you been working on a Word document, an Excel document, and you need collaboration and interaction from everybody else? And they've all got to give their comments, their input, make the relevant changes. And then you land up with emailing it across to people. But now you've got everybody's working on a different version because everybody's made a change and the one person hasn't updated and sent to the next person. And then that person makes a change and then they need it, but 2 people have made a change at the same time, and you land up in a complete mess. So over here, we've got a section called Files. Okay, and what this allows us to do is to share the file, so we're all working with one file, and as well as make relevant changes. So I'm just going to upload some files. They're just some demo files that I found. So here's a sample monthly budget. It's an Excel file, which I'm going to upload. And there are other ways of doing this. So you can also, from your computer, let me just go here. You can just drag them across as well. So I just want to find the Word document that I took it across. So you can just drag it across as well. I say, there we go, and it's uploaded and it's sitting there. So now I can open this. Well, let me first give the team a heads up that I'm going to ask them to look at this document with me. So I'm quickly going back to the chat. Can you open the phone script Word document in files? So we review together and make changes. All right, so I'm going to open the Word document that I've uploaded over here. And it's going to open up, it opens up in like a browser-based version of Word inside Teams. All right, so you can see it's not the full version of Word, but there is an option to actually open in the full version. Normally somewhere over here it says open in full version. I'm just waiting for the others to join on this, and you'll see, as you see, I come up over here and my initials are JK. We should see them come up as well with their, so here Casper's joined over here. And you can see over here, he looks like he's starting to type. He's making a change over there. At the same time, I can say, I can add my own comments. I can highlight that in red. And Casper, and now Mark has joined as well. And they should be making changes. I'm not sure if they are. But additionally, we can also come into this comment section over here. So there, Casper's busy making a change. All right. And now I can add a comment in this document and I say, do you think this line is, sorry, let me rather phrase it better and point to the line and say, do you think this line is relevant? Question. And now a little comment box will come up over here. And if Casper or Mark open the comment section on their side, they can see the comments that I make. I could see any comments that they make. And you can edit a document by collaborating. Okay. I'm going to close this one over here. And I'm going to ask them to do the Excel document as well. Can we go ahead? And as you'll see, when I requested that we work on the Word document together, Casper gave me a like reaction. If I just hover over the thumbs up, I can see who acknowledged it. All right, so now we're going to look at the sample monthly budget. Which is just taking a while to open. There we go. And I think we need to be adding, I just want to wait for the others to join. But I think we definitely need to be adding a line here to, at the bottom here, call it COVID-related medical expenses. I don't know if anybody else has stocked up on panados, masks, whatever they can find. But this was definitely not in my original budget. And unfortunately, doesn't really fall under most categories here, but I can put in my cost, and the guys are not coming to the party here and doing the demo with me. I'm just going to give them a little nudge. Or let's just see if they've responded in the chat. Not yet. Sorry, I'm just popping them a WhatsApp here. Right, so hopefully they'll come on and they'll make their own edits and changes or whatever. If they do or don't, their Casper's just arrived. It's okay. The point is it's all sitting in one location. So anybody who's been invited to this conversation can access these files and they can do what needs to be done. So we don't need to sit there and email it out, wait for 20 versions. And when we're done with it, we can just go back. I'm just going to close here and say, looks like it's ready to be sent out for these changes. And there we worked on a document together. We worked on the same version, and everybody's put in their comments and their thoughts and their changes, and it's good to go. What you can also do when you're preparing, so for example, if I go into this chat over here, which is the one that we're all in at the moment, I can do something, so the files would have still existed here if I chosen to share the files with everybody in this group. I can also create meeting notes. So if you're starting a meet, or if you've got a meeting, it's always great to have an agenda. This meeting notes is built in, so I can say, and then add a new section over here, show presentation, and I can just say explain X, Y, Z, and then obviously the next one was practical. So I can put some notes here, show how to start the chat, show how we often have we have regular meetings. We have a monthly staff meeting. We prepared this in advance. Everybody gets to see the meeting notes before, so they know that what they're in for, what the agenda is, and make sure that they're prepared if they need to be. There is a whiteboard feature. I don't know much about whiteboards. I do know that I can draw a little stick figure, not a very good one. But for those of you who've worked with whiteboards and that type of thing, I'm assuming this is very useful to share, especially if you, I don't know, in an architect space or that type of thing. I'm sure that's very useful. What you can also do, which I'm not sure if I can do it in this one because it's a once-off meeting, but I'm going to go into my team again. There are hundreds and hundreds of add-ons. Some are paid for and some are not, which may or may not be useful. And it's really as simple as clicking that plus button over there. The one that I know, which I like, is something called Poly, and it allows you to create quick polls within your teams. So I'm quickly going to add that. And hopefully everything will go according to plan. I save that. Oh, excuse me. I think they might have made it no longer free. Oh no, that's fine. It's just giving permission. Accept. And now I can create a quick little poll or survey. I'm putting it in the general, and I'm going to say have for lunch today pizza, burgers, healthy. And then you can allow multiple votes, or you can also make it an anonymous poll. So they can put comments on the poll. You can set it for, you can share the results. You can allow anonymous, non-anonymous access. So I'm going to create this little poll and I'm going to send it out. Now, if I go back into the post, you'll see that I have created this poll and it's been displayed for everybody. I'm going to go with healthy because it's been a bad 2 weeks. Right, and I've had one result so far and it shows me who selected it. And as the rest of the team give their opinions or give their feedback, it will update this accordingly. So Casper's wants burgers. Hopefully Mark doesn't choose pizza, otherwise we're at a stalemate. Right, so let me just go back to our group over here, and I'm just going to turn my video back on. I see there's a question over there, so sorry, let me just orientate myself here. Sorry, technical glitch here. There we go. All right, so that was just a brief little demonstration of the features of Teams in terms of the chat functionality, the video, obviously, which we're using at the moment, and most importantly, the file sharing and the collaboration. Are there any questions? You can either feel free to talk or to put it in the meeting notes. Nadia, yes, the blur feature is only available when your video is on. Can we run training workshops on Teams? Oh, absolutely. So Lisa, this is, you can absolutely run training workshops. This is the equivalent of a training workshop. I've done a presentation. I can share. I'm sharing my screen. I can go onto the internet. Most importantly is once you're recording the session, it saves it into another Microsoft product called Microsoft Streams. And then you can reference back to it as well. So I'm going to open up my version of Streams. So we do training within our company. Every week we do training. And then we do it through Teams. And then we upload the video, we label it, and then anybody can refer back to it at a later stage. It's really useful for new staff members as well, because you don't necessarily want to have to do a whole induction every time a new staff member starts. If you've got loads of people starting at one time, it's great, but when they staggered across a couple of months, you don't want to invest the time in the trainer training. So to do a recording like this the first time is great, and then you just get the new members to reference it. So here we did, let me go to my content over here, videos. Right, so Lisa, I think there was some glitch the other day when we were testing Teams the other day. This was our test. It seemed to have recorded endlessly for some reason, but that was our test. Let me just go back to my channels. Of course, I'm having issues finding what I'm looking for. But yes, you can use this for training, and it records everything. Okay. In Zoom, there are breakaway rooms. Is this a similar feature in Teams? There is not at the moment. There are a whole bunch of new features coming to Teams. Every few weeks, I'm seeing more and more features that they're going to be rolling out. The raise your hand, they don't have yet, which they're in the process of rolling out. They're going to have a background noise cancellation. So that's quite useful for the dogs barking or just general background noise. I'm not sure how they figure that out, but hopefully that works. And then they've also got new backgrounds, so you don't need to be showing your actual background. They'll have one of a boardroom, of Golden Gate Bridge, whatever you want. There's a whole bunch of backgrounds, and you should be able to use your camera as well to choose a background. So one of your own pictures. Are there any other questions? No. All right. So thank you everybody for your time. I hope you found this of use. I hope you'll find it beneficial and be able to use it in your existing organizations. There was a small group of people, so I'm more than happy to say that if there are any questions, please just ask Lisa for my email address, and I'll be more than happy to give more detailed information. The product is changing all the time. So what doesn't exist now might exist in a month's time or a few months' time. And Chag Sameach to everybody.
Fantastic. Unbelievable.
Great.
Just two observations. The files are coming blurred on the screen. And secondly, I don't know if anybody else is getting buzzing noises through the earphones.
Jackie, from my side, the files weren't blurred, and I didn't have any buzzing sounds.
Okay, great.
But great, Jackie, thank you, honestly, for your time and just taking us through this, because when you don't know it, it is scary, but you certainly shared it in a way that makes sense and should be fairly easy to adapt and start using. So thank you.
Pleasure. And yeah, best of luck, everybody.
Yeah. Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach. Thank you.
All the best. Bye.